Hey everybody, welcome back to the Research Survival Guide. If you've been with us so far, you've learned how to craft a research question, gather credible sources, stay organized, and present your research like a pro. Today, we're tackling another crucial part of the research journey. It's navigating feedback and using it to improve your work. Now, let's kick things off by talking about why feedback is so important. Feedback is like a compass that helps you navigate your research journey. It highlights your strengths and point out areas for improvement. Think of it as a growth tool. It's not about tearing you down, but about building you up to be the best researcher you can be. So instead of fearing feedback, let's embrace it and use it to our advantage. Think of feedback as your best friend, not a scary monster. But now, with that in mind, let's think about the types of feedback. Feedback comes in many forms, and each type has its own value. I'm going to mention some common types that you might encounter. First, it could be constructive criticism. This feedback points out areas that need improvement and often comes with suggestions on how to make those improvements, mainly. It's like a friend guiding you through a tricky part of your journey. Now, this is good feedback. The second type is positive feedback. Don't overlook the praise. Positive feedback highlights what you're doing well, which is just as important as knowing what needs work. A third type of feedback is peer feedback, one that you receive from classmates or colleagues. It can provide a fresh perspective and helps you see things you might or have missed. Now, finally, a fourth and last type of feedback is one which is received from experts. This comes from professors or professionals in your field. Their insights are invaluable because they have the experience and knowledge to guide you effectively. Each type of feedback is a piece of the puzzle that helps you see the bigger picture. And knowing what type of feedback you're receiving and from who only helps you build that bigger picture. Now, you've received some feedback. Alright? Now what? The first step is to receive it gracefully. You listen actively, paying attention to what's being said without interrupting, and taking notes if needed. This helps you set a good tone for a friendly conversation later on if a discussion is needed. Now, when receiving feedback, bear in mind that you should stay open-minded. It's easy to get defensive, but try to stay open-minded. Remember, the goal is to improve. Now, ask for clarification. If something isn't clear, don't hesitate to ask for more details. Understanding the feedback fully is crucial because you want to use it effectively. And now finally, thank the giver. Whether the feedback is positive or critical, thank the person for their time and insights. It shows maturity and professionalism. Receiving feedback gracefully sets the stage for you to use it effectively. Now that you've received the feedback, it's time to analyze and implement that feedback. This is where the magic happens. Here's a simple step-by-step guide on to how to do so. You can first review the notes you've taken, go over the feedback carefully, and identify key points. You might as well categorize that feedback, separate it into categories such as content, structure, methodology, and style if you're doing research. This makes it easier to address each area systematically. Or you might as well categorize it into whatever system that works best for you, depending on your set of objectives. Now that you categorized, it's important to also prioritize. Not all feedback is created equal, and not all of it is important. Prioritize the most critical points that will have the biggest impact on your research. After that, create an action plan. For each piece of feedback, outline specific steps you'll take to make improvements. Set realistic goals and deadlines for each task. Don't be over-ambitious and over-plan things. Just keep it simple and doable. Implement those changes, and don't try to do everything at once. Take it step by step. By breaking down the feedback and addressing it methodologically, you can make significant improvements to your research. But let's be real. Not all feedback is easy to swallow. Some of it might be harsh or feel unfair. The best thing to do is to take a step back. Give yourself some time to process the feedback before reacting. Emotional responses can cloud your judgment. And now, try to seek a second opinion. If the feedback feels off, seek a second opinion from someone you trust. They can provide additional perspective or at least listen to your rant. Now, one best thing to do is to focus on the message, not the delivery. Not everyone knows how to deliver a message. Not everyone knows how to speak well. So, sometimes, the way feedback is delivered can be tough. But try to focus on the underlying message. What's in it for you? How can this feedback make you better? What can you benefit from it? Just don't let a second of bitter feelings take control of you. Remember, you should be the one controlling your emotions, and not the other way around. Eventually, decide what's useful. Not all feedback will be useful. Be discerning and decide which points are worth addressing. If it's not worth it, take it, dump it with grace, and move on. But remember, difficult feedback can be a good recipe for growth if approached with the right mindset. So, in the same spirit of grace, feedback isn't just something you receive. It's also something you give. So providing constructive feedback is a skill that will serve you well in academia and beyond. First things first, remember to be graceful and gentle. Treat the receiver the way you would want to be treated, with kindness. Now, when giving feedback, be specific. General comments aren't helpful. Be specific about what needs improvement and why. Make it balanced. Offer a mix of positive feedback and areas for improvement. This encourages the recipient to listen to you and provide a balanced perspective. Where possible, suggest ways to address the issues you've pointed out. This makes your feedback more actionable. Offer solutions. But again, the most important thing, be kind. Deliver your feedback with kindness and respect. And also remember, the goal is to help the person improve. Being a good giver of feedback is just as important as being a good receiver of it. Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with some final tips and encouragement. Feedback is a powerful tool for growth, and embracing it can transform your research journey. So embrace the process. Improvement takes time and effort. Embrace the journey and be patient with yourself. Celebrate the small wins. Each piece of feedback you address is a step forward. So celebrate those small victories. And keep learning. Seek out opportunities for feedback and continuously strive to improve. Growth is a lifelong process. And remember, you're not alone in this journey. Reach out to your mentors, peers, and resources for support and guidance. You've got this. And that's a wrap on navigating feedback. In our next episode, we'll dive deeper into this issue and discuss navigating unhelpful criticism with grace. The objective is to help you stay balanced and graceful when things are not. Thanks for tuning in to the Research Survival Guide. Keep refining, keep improving, and happy researching. Good luck.